Do you need something, Poppy?
Thank you again for saying something to those brutes so that I didn't have to. You were an augury at noon in the desert.
I certainly hope that's a good thing.
It's something my gran and I say. It means that something or someone is a welcome surprise. At least, that's what we decided it meant.
I couldn't stand there and watch them harm the poor thing.
We're of a similar mind. Actually, in light of that, there's someone I'd like you to meet. In the forest.
You've intrigued me. Very well. Lead the way.
I'd hoped I would. I wouldn't take just anyone there. In fact, you're the first.
Really? Well, thank you, I think.
As I said, we think alike. Pleasant surprise. Quite the weather we're having, don't you think?
Poppy, where are you taking me?
It really is much better if I just show you. Don't worry, we're nearly there. It's just ahead. Stand back. Please meet Highwing. Isn't she just magnificent? Go on, introduce yourself to her. But be careful. You must always show hippogriffs the proper courtesy before you approach them. I knew it! I don't think I've ever seen a hippogriff take to someone this quickly. You can feed and brush her if you'd like. I come and check on her every once in a while. Bring her pasties, tell her what's going on. You wouldn't know from looking at her, but she's a dreadful busybody. So, what did you think of Highwing?
I thought she was brilliant. Can't believe you introduced me to her.
I suspected you two might get along.
Are you the reason students have been seeing hippogriffs flying above the Forbidden Forest?
Perhaps. Did you know that once you earn a hippogriff's trust, they'll always be there for you? I've seen it firsthand with her.
How exactly did you and Highwing cross paths?
It's a longer story, but I rescued her from poachers a few years back. Got her to safety and, well, she was fine until recently. You may have noticed that poachers are something of a problem in the area, so I worry they could get her again. And I might not be there next time.
Professor Howen mentioned the poachers as well. She seemed to imply that we couldn't rely on the ministry to help.
I don't often agree with Professor Howen, but on that, I fear she's right. The poachers' influence is growing. I see them every day in the village, lingering, talking to people. They're up to something. I'm just not sure what.
That does seem strange. Sounds as if they're planning something.
Exactly. I think I'm going to look into it. Find out what's going on, what they're doing.
I think that's a fine idea. Information is power.
And the more I know, the better I can keep Highwing safe.
You seem undeterred. Will you let me know what you find out?
Oh, very well. I will. I should be going, but we'll speak again soon, I hope.
as I mentioned, my sister Anne misses Hogwarts, and she hasn't been herself lately. I'd like to take you up on your promise to visit her with me. I'm heading to Feldcroft soon, so I'll look forward to seeing you there. It's just south of Hogwarts. By the way, hope you're faring well with the blasting curse. It's still one of my...
I couldn't help but overhear. Did you mention Ranrock's loyalists?
I did. Never imagined they'd act this deadly. I'm Claire Beaumont, by the way.
Nice to meet you.
Ranrock and his followers have set up camp here. No regard for our beloved hamlet or our livelihoods. Ruthless. My brother Bardolph dared to stand up to them and ended up in St. Mungo's. I'm simply at my wit's end.
I'm unfortunately quite familiar with Ranrock's loyalists. Perhaps I can do something.
Much as I would love to be rid of them, I wouldn't want you to risk injury, or worse. Please be cautious.
Now that you've attended Beasts class, I've asked Deke to assist you in using the room to further your studies in that regard. Please meet him there when you can.
Bardolph Beaumont should have...
My Uncle Roland in quite some time.
Excuse me, did you say something about Bardolph Beaumont?
I did. I don't think we've met. I'm Dorothy Sprottle. I was just worrying about Claire Beaumont's brother Bardolph, only he's gone missing. Rumour is he was seen in the forest practising dark magic. Saw him myself near some ruins with Rookwood's lot I did. I fear he got himself into trouble with the Ashwinders, especially if he made them a promise he couldn't keep. I'd help search for him myself, but no one will risk encountering Ranrock's loyalists. They seem to be everywhere.
I can certainly look out for him.
Any help would be appreciated. You might speak to Claire first. Perhaps she has some insights that I don't. I can tell you that Bardolph was last seen in the forest wearing a particular woolen jumper, one that Claire knitted herself. Claire will be at her shop if you'd like to speak with her.
Revelio. Revelio.
Most gobblers in my family worked in the mine for one time or other.
I should investigate. Confringo! Confringo! Protego! Is that Infurious wearing a woolly jumper? That must be Bardolph. Confringo! 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 to know what really happened to him. Revelio. Accio. Revelio.
Oh, I do hope my brother is all right.
Come now, don't be stingy.
Madame Beaumont, I believe I have some news of your brother.
Bardolph? What do you know of my brother?
I regret to say that Bardolph had been turned into an Inferius, and I had to kill him.
What? But how could you possibly think that an Inferius was my brother Bardolph? That's absurd.
He was wearing a woolen jumper, hand-knitted.
No. No. This can't be.
I'm truly sorry. I wish it had been better news. I wish you well, Madame Beaumont.
What more could I have done? Oh, Bardolph.
I could use some gold.
Bardolph. My dear, dear brother.
Such arrogance.
One of Ranrock's camps, exactly as Madame Beaumont described.
Wizards are running scared, as they should be. Reminds me of the time I nearly fell out of a cart at Gringotts. I was only young. Wizards are running
Arresto momentum, the slowing charm.
Patricus Totalis.
Or people in midair. Simply complete a few tasks and then come and see.
How nice of you to stop. Not quiet.
Levioso! Ringo!
You're really not very good at this, are you?
Protego!
I won't rest. This is impossible! I won't rest until you're dead. No!
Protego! One camp down, one more to go. Revelio.
arrogance.
Why am I always on patrol? It's a waste of my skills.
Petrificus totalis.
I long for a bacon and mushroom stew.
What was that? I feel as though I'm not alone.
How nice.
You're so very weak.
One less shoot.
That was
Potato! Confringo!
Someone's regret coming.
I'll get you yet!
Stupid
What's
one!
happening? I won't rest until you're dead. No!
Potato!
You're no match for me! Why can't I hit you? Stop it! I won't rest until you're dead.
Potato!
Get accustomed to that! No!
Confringo! Your blood's on Ranrock's hands. Both camps cleared. Madame Beaumont will be glad to hear that. Revelio. Wonder who lives here.
I do appreciate what you went through to find my brother.
It's unforgivable
Thank you.
curses. Tips in the hat, if you
Oh, hello.
Hello, Madame Beaumont. Good news. I was able to clear out Ranrock's camps.
You cleared them out. How?
I managed to catch them off guard.
Oh, I wish my brother could have done what you did. Perhaps he'd still be with me now. I'm especially grateful. You did, for Bardolph, what I could not. You saved our hamlet, my young friend. This will not be forgotten. I fear for other hamlets, truly. Ranrock and his lot are unlike any goblins I've ever seen.
What do you have for sale?
What are you looking for exactly? Thank you. Sincerely. Oh, you like that? A fine choice. I should have done more. Bardolph, you wouldn't have left without saying goodbye, would you? Marvellous. I could always use more of these. Thank you for passing through.
If it thinks it's got half a chance, it could be on you like that. You are most kind.
Revelio. These rocks have seen better days.
That curiosity young people tend to know.
There we go. That's it.
Welcome back. Have you finished your...
Reporting back, Professor. Assignment's all finished.
Well done. Shows good discipline. Wisdom is a golden snitch, as they say, and you're proving a skilled seeker in that regard. Let us practice our Restore Momentum. A charm, incidentally, created to stop quaffles from plummeting straight to the ground during a Quidditch match. Precise, deliberate movements. Very good. I recommend practicing your new spell.
Arresto Momentum.
That's it. Keep it up.
Revelio.
Glad you came.
Hello, Sirona. I received your owl. How are you?
Hello, my friend. Did you ever find Lodgok?
I did, thank you. We had a good conversation. He sends you his best.
Glad to hear it. I shan't ask for details of your little chat, and I'll refrain from telling you to be careful yet again. But I hope you will be, whatever your plans.
Of course. Your owl mentioned you're needing my help with something?
I do. I thought you might be just the person to do a favour for my friend Dorothy Sprottle in Upper Hogsfield.
I've actually met Mrs. Sprottle. I recently spoke with her about her friend Claire Beaumont.
She's lovely. Her late husband Aidan was a friend of my father's. In fact, I'd stay with Dot and Aidan the summers I waited tables here as a student. I've seen her a few times since Aidan passed, but the pub's been so busy lately, I've not been as attentive as I'd have liked. I wonder if you might pop in and see her. She may need some help collecting ingredients for her supply of Wiggenweld potion. And you could retrieve something of mine in the process. A box, full of old letters and such.
I'll try to go and see her when I can.
It would mean the world to me. And to Dorothy. Aidan was bringing the box of letters to me when he was taken ill. Dot can tell you where he might have dropped it. You'll find the hamlet just north of Hogsmeade. Please do give Dot my love.
He'll see it was a mistake parting ways with me.
Accio! Accio! Revelio. Ah, Upper Hogsfield. Now where to find Mrs. Sprottle?
You've made up a hog. I do appreciate what you went through to find my brother. Thank you. Thank you for passing through. Thank you for all that you've done for us.
Nice to see you again, Mrs. Sprottle. Actually, Sirona Ryan asked if I'd come and see you.
Oh, dear Sirona, a gem. Has been for as long as I've known her.
She thought you might need help collecting ingredients for your Wiggenweld potion.
And she's correct. My darling Aidan used to collect hawk lumps for me. Since he died, my supply has dwindled.
I'm sorry for your loss, Mrs. Sprottle.
Oh, thank you. Love of my life. A bit lost without him. If you wouldn't mind gathering some hawk lumps for me, I'd be happy to compensate you for your time.
Believe it or not, I have some with me.
Oh, thank you. How wonderful. The travelling vendors will be thrilled to replenish their stock of Wiggenweld potion.
Sirona also mentioned that Mr. Sprottle was bringing her a box of letters when he fell ill.
Indeed he was. I'd almost forgotten. I stumbled upon it just before Aidan died. He was hoping to go through it with Sirona over a butterbeer or two. Those two were always like two bowtruckles in a branch. Aidan took ill when he was collecting hawk lumps on his way to see her. He made it home, but I fear he dropped the box in the cavern. The cavern is in the hills just southwest of our hamlet. You can gather hawk lumps and collect the box of letters there.
Thank you, Mrs. Sprottle.
Thank you. I'll be here if you are able to collect those hawk lumps. I and the vendors I help would greatly appreciate it.
Manners are important, though, aren't they? Even in a fight.
This must be the cavern Mrs. Sprottle mentioned. the Horklumps to Mrs. Sprottle, but I still need to visit the cave to find Sirona's box of letters. Perhaps I'll find more Horklumps while I'm there. Revelio! Better have a look around, see if I can find that box of letters. Confringo! That's all the Horklumps for now. Mrs. Sprottle should be pleased. Revelio. Accio. Depulso. Revelio. Confringo. Revelio. Depulso. Revelio. Revelio. Either I'll have to fight that troll. Depulso! Confringo! Arresto momentum! Confringo! Depulso! Confringo! Potato! Stupid one! Confringo! Depulso! Stupid one! Confringo! Confringo! Depulso! Confringo! Confringo! Rest easy, my large friend. Revelio. This must be Sorona's box of letters. I should take this box of letters to Sorona. I think that's everything. Sorona will be glad to have this back. Revelio. Debolso. Revelio. Revelio.
Haven't a clue why there's such a fuss over poaching. There's enough beast flesh for everyone. I'll be off to the tavern after this.
Sometimes it seems all roads lead to Hogsmeade. Revelio.
I'll fix him, that charm grinder.
Aloha Mora. Mine now, demigod. Revelio.
We'll talk about you taking down that troll in the village.
Hello, Sorona. I have good news. I was able to provide your friend Mrs. Sprottle with some hawk lumps for her Wiggenweld potion, and I found your box of letters.
Oh, thank you. I knew you were the one to ask.
I'm glad I could be of help. Mrs. Sprottle sends her best.
Don't know what I'd have done without her and Aidan. Thank you, again, for helping her. And for returning this box of letters. It's nice to reflect on good memories.
Thank you again for delivering those potions to Madame Lawing. Saved me a lot of time and trouble. A wise decision. Thank you. I hope to see you again. Farewell for now. Hear you found a bit of treasure in the forest. Was never one for adventure.